Passionate Living on WBBZ TV is sponsored by the Aura Salt Cave, offering holistic services unique to the alternative health and wellness community. They're located at 6429 Transit Road in East Amherst, online at aurasaltcave.com. And Dr. Todd Shatkin, Western New York's leader in general and cosmetic dentistry, located at the Aesthetic Associates Center, 2500 Kensington Avenue, online at drtshatkin.com.
Hi, I'm Kat Miller. Welcome to this edition of Passionate Living. On our show, it's Tea Time with Samantha Latshaw. During this time of wearing masks, Samantha shows us how to make our eyes stand out with a special makeup technique. Next, we're going to meet Supermodel Beverly Johnson. During her journey from hometown Buffalo, New York to the cover of all of the top glamour magazines in the world, Beverly used her amazing career to redefine stereotypes of beauty. You won't want to miss part one of Beverly's amazing story. But first, let's celebrate springtime with my niece Rosina as we take a historical adventure into maple sugaring. So Rosina,
Yeah.
do you know where we are today?
No, but no, I can't even guess.
There are women behind us in old-time outfits.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to guess.
We are at the Genesee Country Village Museum.
Okay.
And the passion that the people here, the volunteers here have for maple syrup this time of year is wonderful because they share it with the whole community. They teach people how to make maple syrup, history of it. It's going to be wonderful. We might even get to sample a little.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I know, because you like maple syrup.
I
don't
do.
you?
I do.
When Rosina has like her pancakes, it's like a bath of maple syrup.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everyone likes maple syrup.
Well, let's find out where it comes from, all right?
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, well, we are making maple syrup here in the modern sugar house at the museum. And so we're using some of the tools that modern industry has provided for us to make it easier and more time and labor efficient to turn the sap from maple trees into the maple syrup that we put on pancakes, and also some of the candy products and things that we can sell as well.
Right, that's wonderful. And the process I know has changed through the years. Obviously, the first maple sugaring came from Native Americans, from the indigenous people in this country who, I know in this area, would carve out a birch log or something and drop hot stones in to boil the sugar. It's come a long way.
It is. Some things have changed a lot, and some things haven't changed that much. The process is still consistent, that we wait for the trees to be ready to provide sugar at the time of year when they're able to. And then we extract it and concentrate it by removing water, by boiling or concentrating sap to leave the sugar behind. But some parts of that are way, way more efficient now with some of the technologies that we have available, continuing to change. You know, not just adding metal tools, but also adding the high technology membranes that make a reverse osmosis filter possible, and different kinds of plastics to make transporting and storing the sap much easier. Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Very good. Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
So what is this?
In the 1800s, when families were out at sugar camps making maple sugar, if there was a nice snowfall, some nice, clear, good white snow, they would do a treat for the children where they would take and heat up maple syrup. They're heating it up to 234 degrees. That's kind of the soft sugar stage of sugar. And they would pour it over that snow. We're actually using chopped up ice. And it creates like a taffy-like candy. Basically, you would get a twig or a stick or a fork and twirl it, kind of like a lolly. Here, I'll give you.
Thank you.
Oh, Rosina.
So when did this start? Like,
So I can well imagine that Native Americans may have even been doing this. They would have been the first people that became aware that maple trees have a little extra sugar in their sap. And I'm certain they might have been doing something like this. It does have to get really hot, as I said, about 234 degrees. But something super easy folks can do at home.
Oh, this is delicious.
Yeah, this is really cool. I can't wait to try it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your visit.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kat, and this is my niece Rosina.
Hello, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Alyssa Lynch. I work here at the Genesee Country Village and Museum at the Nature Center.
Great. What are you showing us today?
So today we're at the tapping station here at our Maple Sugar Festival. So this is an opportunity for our visitors to actually get a hands-on experience trying to tap a tree. Now, unfortunately, if we tried to tap a tree, a real tree with every visitor who came here, our poor trees would run out of sap very quickly and would be actually pretty damaging. So instead, we have some stumps here and people are able to try their hand at it using a old style bit and brace. So the bit would be this part right here and the brace is right here, which would be like an electric drill for the folks in the 1800s who are doing this process.
That's wonderful. Rosina, I think this sounds like a job for you. If we're ever in a survival situation, I'm relying on you to tap the trees to get the sap out so we can make syrup.
Beautiful, so I'll teach you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to put it up to the tree, and it's up to you how you want to hold it. You can put one hand here and the other here so that you can spin it, but sometimes I find that putting your stomach up to it and letting yourself get a little extra push is even better. So I will pass that along to you.
Yeah, I would put it against my stomach.
Yep, there you go. Yep, kind of push your body into it and start to spin. You know you're doing it right because you see wood chips coming out of there. That's perfect. And when we're tapping a tree, we only want to go in about 2 inches into the tree. And that's because there's a 2-inch loop of sap wood in the tree. And that's what we're trying to collect is sap. So if we kept drilling farther than that, we'd be doing a whole bunch of work for nothing. So I would say go ahead and give me 3 more good rotations. Perfect, and then let go for a second. It's stuck, you see? So we're gonna have to backtrack it. So go ahead and start rotating it the other way. And sometimes it's hard to remember which way is the other way. And there you go. And once you start to feel it kind of jiggling, you can pull it out. There you go. And we can set that aside.
Rosina, we're now all set for tapping trees. I think we should tap some on the way home, bring a bucket of syrup with us.
Perfect, but definitely make sure that you put a spile in there. Because if you made that hole and you didn't do that, it would all just end up falling out. So you'll put it in there, tap it in, and in about a day or so, the sap would be flowing for you.
That's beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Alyssa. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming to our Maple Sugar Festival.
Thanks. Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
This is so good. It has a different flavor than what we buy at the store.
Tastes better.
So much better.
Yeah.
For everybody who loves maple syrup, get out and enjoy the Maple Syrup Festival over here in Genesee County, or find one in your neighborhood and check it out. Welcome to this week's segment of Tea Time with Sam and Kat. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Kat.
You're so welcome. I love having you here. Are you kidding? This is just
Such a pleasure.
So much fun.
Always fun. I get to hang out with my friend.
I know, right? We get to check out all these cool products and experience new techniques for stress and everything that we cover on this little
Chat
segment.
and relax with some yummy tea as well.
Yes.
So let me pour you some hot water there. I love having tea. It is so relaxing no matter what time of day, and especially because, you know, just tea versus coffee, you get the jitters, but with tea, you know, there's so many like natural remedies when it comes to having herbal tea. So today I'd love to talk to you about one of my favorite makeup routines. It's usually my go-to when I'm in a rush. I want to look fabulous, but I really don't have that time, or maybe really not that much energy.
Right.
And especially with mask wearing, of course, you can't really see your beautiful lips. So what are we accentuating nowadays? Our eyes.
Our eyes.
Absolutely.
That's all you can see. My son waits tables, and with the mask, you know, he said people can't see him smile, so he gives a double squint like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, honey.
To smile with your eyes, right? Right. So what I'm going to show you today is called a cat eye. Do you know how to do a cat eye?
Apropos.
Yeah. Cat eye, right? Cat. Absolutely. So have you ever done one before?
Years ago.
Okay.
I haven't done cat eyes in a while.
So you can go subtle, right? So
Right.
what I'm wearing is quite subtle. But you know, if it's on the weekend and you want to have fun, you can always accentuate the tail and give it a little bit more length. But today I'm just going to show you the technique on how to
Okay.
do it. So first, I actually, I like to start with what's called like a crayon type liner.
Okay.
Which you could also use. So this is called a crayon. Crayon is the ones that are twisty.
Right.
They also come with a pencil, which is like the sharpened kind.
Right.
Either or. I personally prefer the crayon just because honestly, I don't like to stop to sharpen it.
This is one you have to sharpen, and you have no idea how many times I go through it and it breaks off before I get it just right.
So with this one, the idea is to just give you some thickness on the side there.
Okay.
You don't want to start on the whole eye. You just want to actually start towards the end of your eye.
Okay.
You see
Okay.
center
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
eye.
yeah. Okay.
And now you're just going to run that out to create a thicker line. That's all you're going to do there.
Okay.
You don't want it to be thick towards the inner corner of your eye.
All right.
Because then it will just look messy, and the whole point of the
Right.
cat eye is to open you up.
Okay.
Now I switch to what's called a felt
All right.
tip type
Right.
pencil. Now with this, you could use something like this, or you could use one that's more of a like the wand as well, more liquid-like. That will give you a more finer line. Now with this, again, you want to go back to the line that you did with the
I don't
crayon
have a
or
felt
pencil,
tip, so I'm going to do my crayon while you do
and
it.
you just thicken that up.
Uh-huh.
And now, with a light hand, you're going to go into the inner corner of your eye and then have them meet.
Okay.
And then that would be your
Oh,
cat eye.
that is so beautiful. Wow. Okay, after this tea time, you're going to have to
So
do my
a
makeup.
final trick
Yes.
is I always like to finish off with a Q-tip.
Okay.
The Q-tip, if you make a mistake, I don't have any with me today, but you would just simply use that Q-tip and clean up any area here, and it helps to fine and lengthen it out.
Beautiful. Wow, well, thank you so much for that tip. I can't wait to try it. I'm going to get home with Rosina tonight, and we'll do cat eyes.
It's always so much fun, and again, with the masks, it's all about the eyes.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you so much.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
I want to introduce someone who is so special. I met you, a few years ago, I think in Santa Monica. And Beverly Johnson is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. And I found that out the day that we met, and is originally from my hometown of Buffalo, New York. And I want to introduce Beverly to the show.
Hi. Hi, Thank you for having me. I am so thrilled to be talking to my homie, a Buffalonian, and is dear to my heart, and I can be more thrilled to do this show.
Now, what would you say to a young woman out there in the world who wants to get into fashion and that's her passion? What would you tell her?
First, I would say, go for it. But I would tell her what I told my daughter. You can be anything you want after you graduate from college. Because the one thing I realized for my daughter, because I didn't grow up with famous parents, right? If you get your education, that's something no one will ever be able to take away from you. You did that. So she went on and she got her BA and her MBA, and then became one of the top 10 plus size models in the world, and taught me a whole new way of thinking about beauty. My daughter, I'm like, plus size, huh? And so she did what I did for women of color for plus size women in the industry, which was so necessary.
Is she still working in that realm, or?
Well, she has 4 children.
Oh yeah, no, she's
homeschool and whatever. She has an incredible following. We did a television show together on OWN Beverly's Full House, which I was an executive producer, and now we're going to be doing a podcast together. So we do a lot of mother and daughter shows together. But I mentor a lot of young ladies that want to be models, and a number of them are in college, right? So I really believe that passion is important, but for me, I believe in opportunities and possibilities, because you really don't know at a young age that, that's my passion, you don't know what your passion is going to be.
It's so true. And that's why when you go to college, it's so important to take a lot of different classes, to diversify and not just focus on one topic, because I think that happens too early these days, where you're already supposed to know what you want to do the rest of your life when you go to college, and you've got no experience for that. You've never taken an astronomy course, you've never taken a science course, maybe you've never taken an art course, and you don't know what's truly going to light you up until you immerse yourself in that kind of an environment of education and just try it.
Yes, when an opportunity comes up that's kind of out of what you were thinking and dreaming, say yes, let me go see.
Right.
You know what you're going to like. You never know what's around the corner for you.
Now, what are you doing now? What are you doing these days? You're out in Palm Springs, right?
I am doing so many things now. I wrote my memoir, The Face That Changed It All, that became a New York Times bestseller. It was bought by Warner Brothers, and we are going to be doing a mini-series with that project. And so I'm doing a little executive producing. I did a show with OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network, Beverly's Full House. It was a very interesting show about mother and daughter relationships. So I'm possibly doing other things, and maybe Beverly's Fuller House, because I have 4 girls. And I have lots of projects, other people's projects that I'm executive producing. And besides that, I'm still in the fashion world in the way of representing Retrové skincare. I am a partner in Thesis Couture, where we actually redesign and redevelop the stiletto with SpaceX engineers who redesigned.
Wow.
So now we can walk around and not worry about hurting feet. Mm-hmm. And now I have this interesting Paul Stein water, which is from Austria, and it's the only water that has never been, it goes right from the source into the bottle. And I'm a big water person.
Right.
Imagine, because hydration, and also in the way of just keeping your appetite under control. Right. I do through water. Back in the day, we thought water was fattening, okay? We ate nothing. I don't know how I'm still walking around. We ate nothing, like maybe a boiled egg and a bowl of rice a week. So anyway, so I have an interesting, and a luxury, maybe home decor brand going. So I'm just very excited. And, I have a fiance, a financier fiance, which is very exciting to be.
Met him. He's very nice.
He's very nice. He's so smart. He's so kind. And what he was doing in the world of finance on Wall Street, breaking barriers, I was 10 blocks away doing that in modeling.
Isn't that funny? Gay Hendricks, a relationship guru, he's written a ton of books. I don't know if you know Gay, but he was telling me one time that most times they found when someone meets their partner or their soulmate, their husband or wife, that they ended up being in the same area or the same room together several times before they ever met. That they end up kind of cycling together, being around each other without having met each other prior. Isn't that interesting? You and Brian were 10 blocks away.
10 blocks away from me. And he was married to a model who I knew.
Wow.
And it wasn't only until I came out west and his best friend was a mutual friend of mine and we played golf together. But he's in Wall Street. I mean, he's a nerd and I understand nerds, but I wasn't.
That's great.
He's really smart, financier, kind of hedge fund guys. And it's a lot of fun. Yes, it is.
I love that. Well, I can see that retirement has definitely slowed you down. You're right. You're going full bore yet. That's amazing.
Yes, I came out here for golf, and I was playing a lot of golf when I met Brian. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just taking it easy." He says, "For what?" He says, "I sell brain power." He says, "You're going to sell brain power now." And so, and I'm just really loving it and learning new things and just discovering more things about myself, enjoying my grandchildren. Oh my gosh, my grandchildren are just a blessing. From 2 years old to 9 years old. And I'm really happy.
Well, you look as beautiful now as you ever have. It's unbelievable. What is your secret to youth? Because your skin, you've always, every time I've seen you, just stunning.
So much. But I must say, because I'm in the industry, right? So I'm in the fashion industry, so I'm around it and I love it. Right. So I have access, or I make myself access to the most important cutting edge skincare line. I have a dermatologist out here, Dr. Wendy Roberts, who's the youth booster, right?
Right.
And there's so much you can do now through, eating, exercise, and all topical, creams and salve and meditation. And so I basically just keep myself curious as to how can I be the best I can be internally and externally.
For somebody who wants to stay youthful, what are your 3 top things you would tell them to do?
It's never too late. It's a mindset. Mm-hmm. It's all in the mind, right?
Right.
Because you have to remind yourself, don't you have to remind yourself sometimes, I'm X amount of age, I shouldn't be, riding that motorbike. Yeah. You have to remind yourself because you're who you are, right?
Right.
Always. So it's a mindset. It's never too late. And anything that you pay attention to, and as women, we're nurturers anyways.
Right.
You just have to turn it around and do a little self-care and self-love.
Oh, well, Beverly, thank you so much again. I really, really appreciate you being on the show today. It's been wonderful to have you, and I'm so grateful that you shared your beautiful life with the rest of us, that we could see what you're doing now in the world.
Yes, I really appreciate it. What a great Sunday.
Oh, what a great Sunday. Thank you. What a gift. It's been so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Take care, Beverly.
Thank you for joining me on this fun adventure of passionate living. I also want to thank everyone who was a part of producing this show including our sponsors. View Passionate Living each week on WBBZ TV, Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. Plus, you can view former Passionate Living shows on our YouTube channel at passionateliving.tv or on our website at passionateliving.com. And remember, if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. So believe that you can and watch how your whole world changes. We'll see you next week for another exciting adventure into passionate living.
Passionate Living on WBBZ TV was sponsored by the Aura Salt Cave, offering holistic services unique to the alternative health and wellness community. They're located at 6429 Transit Road in East Amherst, online at aurasaltcave.com. And Dr. Todd Shatkin, Western New York's leader in general and cosmetic dentistry, located at the Aesthetic Associate Center, 2500 Kensington Avenue, online at drtshatkin.com.